Hey, Dr. Second Chance here. I hope you're having a great weekend, and it's nice and sunny here in Colorado. Thought I would do a little mini presentation on some ways that we can increase our happiness that does not require spending a lot of money. Just some internal ideas that have been proven by science to work to increase people's happiness. And so, excuse me, I'll just gonna go through about 8 of these. Won't talk about each one very long, and take a little time. I hope you would consider taking a little time to reflect on them, and maybe something applies to you that can make your life a little better. Also, please support this channel, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification icon so you know when I've uploaded more material. I mean, if you like some of the things that I like to share, and you're into kind of some of the things I'm laying down, then I'd like you to know that when I've posted something, hopefully something that I've posted you'll find beneficial. So here are 8 factors or 8 things you can do that don't cost a lot of money that can increase dramatically your happiness. Um, so the first that has been shown to decrease happiness is having a lot of resentment, holding and fostering a grudge. And so, one of the easiest things to start working on, and sometimes it's hard to completely get through, is the idea of forgiving people and letting go of resentments. And that can be incredibly freeing. All right, number 2, not living in the past. Look, we all make mistakes. We've all had some failures in the past, but don't allow yourself to be beaten up by them over and over. If a mistake caused trouble and you were wrong, admit you were wrong, do amends, do whatever to correct the mistake the best you can, and also view it as a learning opportunity. Learn from it. Don't let it define you. Learn from it and move on. You don't need to be preoccupied with past failures and mistakes. And I know sometimes that's hard. Sometimes it's even easier to believe that God forgives us easier than it is for us to forgive ourselves. And so I would encourage you to forgive yourself, not live in the past, and move on. Number 3, don't waste time and energy and resources fighting things you cannot change. There are some things in life you just can't change. You may at one point have thought you could change them, and after you tried, found out you couldn't. There's a serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity, or that's another word for peace. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. There are some things you cannot change, and there are actions that other people may choose to take for you or against you that you can't change or influence. And so don't spend your time on things you cannot change, but also look for things that you can change. Where can you better yourself? Where can you have input where it will make a difference? Number 4, stay involved in the living world. It's easy when we get depressed to want to isolate. And this can occur physically, like hiding in your room, but also it can occur like being online all the time and just not engaging with people. Um, the more you stay involved with the living world, so to speak, and friends and people that encourage you and support you, the happier you're going to be. Now, if you're an introvert, I'm not saying you need to hang out with 100 people because that can be stressful in its own way. But you know what I'm saying, that there are times when we want to isolate, and that's when we will do better. We will be happier if we are with those people that only we know who they are, that encourage us and lift us up. And so that's another way to be happier. Number 5, refuse to indulge in self pity, especially when life hands you a raw deal. Well, there's some truths about life. One of them is none of us go through life without pain, suffering, disappointment, things not working out on one level or another. I mean, we all will have friends that die. We'll all have family members that'll die. We will die. There will be pain and suffering and disappointments. And part of um, dealing with that is just, I mean, there's a place to grieve, but don't get into self pity. The more you choose to live and not exist in a state of self pity, the happier you'll be. Right. Another one that has been proven to increase happiness is cultivating what some would call old fashioned values: love, compassion, humor, loyalty. Working on those. Yeah, it'd be really interesting to see what would happen, say, if you decided that for a period of time you were going to try and be a stand-up comic and write humorous jokes and stand and tell jokes. I wonder what that do to your psyche. It'd be an interesting experiment to try. Now, another one that I like is the whole idea of don't expect too much from yourself. Now, this is not saying don't have some great goals and challenges that you're reaching for, but but don't set yourself up for feeling inadequate and disappointed because the goals were unrealistic and too big. I mean, if you're suppose you want to strengthen yourself and you can only bench press 100 pounds, and you say, well, I am going to bench press 400 pounds in 6 months. That's probably not a realistic goal. Now, you may get to 250. You might even get to 300. You might make amazing, phenomenal improvements that measured against yourself are absolutely a great reason to celebrate, be happy, dance with your friends, and drink protein shakes. But if you didn't get to 450 in 6 months, that may have been just because it was an unrealistic goal. And if you're upset with yourself because you didn't get there, then um, then that's sad because you've accomplished a great thing and yet you're unhappy. You know, of course, the other side of that is true as well, is that you probably won't feel that fantastic um, achieving a tremendously low level, no effort, I could do this goal with my eyes shut. That doesn't challenge you and give you a sense of accomplishment. If your goal was to bench press 100 pounds and or you could bench press 100 pounds and your goal was to bench press 105 pounds over after 6 months, you probably wouldn't feel that great about it. That would not bring a great sense of satisfaction, accomplishment. And then the last one is the whole idea of believing in something bigger than yourself. Now, I'm not talking about organized religion. Oh, excuse me. But it could be, but also the just believing that there's a perhaps a god that's bigger than you and worth using as an example to rise to better yourself and live better with better values and moral courage, perhaps. But also, you can get this sense of there's something bigger than you. In a spiritual sense, you may not have an exact belief in one God or another, but seeing the universe give you a sense there's something bigger than you. So you don't feel maybe quite so puffed up and arrogant and believe that there's something that is out there that could challenge you. And so these are 8 ideas that I saw actually on Twitter on a cartoon based on a study from Duke University on happiness. I don't have the exact reference, but I do hope to get it and put it in the description. Please like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.